Hello everyone. Today we are going to through another level of pre-algebra here, that is creating equivalent fraction. So creating equivalent fractions are fractions, or like equivalent fractions are fractions that have different numbers but the same value. For example, for fractions like 4/8, it is the same as we see, it's equal the same, or it is equal, and it is also the same as 2/4 or 1/2. So in case of doing finding the equivalent fraction, we just divide, or like find the greatest common factor and we multiply it by that, and this way we get our equivalent fraction. So in this case, as you see in here, we just multiply by our greatest common factor, that in this case is 5. 1 times 5 is 5, and 2 times 5 is 10. So it means 5/10 is the equivalent fraction for 1/2. Here we have some examples for our equivalent fractions. So I did some of them beforehand, before coming to doing the video. In order to create an equivalent fraction, we can multiply the numerator. This in this case is 2, for example, it's the top number. In the denominator, the bottom number, by the same number. So let's look. Let's see this. 2 divided by 3, so we'll get on the one number. So here I will get 5. 2 times 5 is 10, and 3 times 5 is 15. In here, so it is the equivalent fraction of 2 divided by 3. Or if you say that to simplify the 10 divided by 15, we again divide it by 5 instead of multiplying, and we will simplify it. So simplifying is against, or like the opposite form of equivalent fraction, but they're equal. Yep. So let's set this is an exact opposite of the way that we reduce fraction. We find the equivalent fraction by like multiplying, but simplifying, we find it by dividing the same number, one number. So creating an equivalent fraction for each fraction given, there will be more than one correct answer for each, depending on what you choose to multiply by. So in the case of 4, let's get 3. So 4 divided by, multiplied by 4 or 3, doesn't matter. 4 times 4, 16. 5 times 4, 20. 16 by 20, which is the equivalent fraction for 4 times 5. Or in the case of 3/7, let's get, let's get 3. Let's get 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 7, 7 times 2 is 14. So 6 divided by 14 is the equivalent fraction for 3 divided by 7. The next is 5 divided by 6. Let's get the number. The only thing between simplifying and fraction and equivalent fraction is that for simplifying fraction we will find the greatest common factor. But for finding the equivalent fraction, we do not. We just get one number and multiply it both by denominator and the numerator. This way we'll get the equivalent fraction, which is in the case of 5 divided by 6 is 15 and 18. Here are 3 other examples. So again, you will get any number and we multiply it both denominator and numerator. 2 times 2 is 4. 9 times 2 is 18. So our equivalent fraction for 9 divided by 2, 2 divided by 9 is 4 divided by 18. And for this case, so let's get 5. It's a little bit bigger number, but let's do it just for example. 6 times 5, 11 times 5, 55. Yep. So in order to find a simplified form for 30 divided by 55, we definitely know that it will be 6 by 11, and with our greatest common factor is 5. Okay, so the next is 1 divided by 3, and here we will just divide it by 2. 2 times 1 is 3 times 2 is 6. Simplified form. It's just, we could get here a bigger number, and in order, just to make it easier to remember and use it in future for simplifying fractions, because simplifying fractions sometimes kind of a little bit tricky, especially when it comes to big numbers. Okay, I will just challenge a little bit. 1 times 18, 18. 3 times 18 is 54. 3 times 18 is 54. Okay. Here is, so if it comes like 18 divided by 54, and we need to simplify, we are required to simplify it. So we will know that it is 1 divided by 3. Yep, 1 divided by 3. In case and with our greatest common factor of 80. That's it for today. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Thanks so much.